What's up, Dragon Brood? So today we have something a little bit of a throwback, though it kind of uses new stuff. So we've obviously know that Teamer adventure things go into a couple different packages, and we've seen them just play with beatdown. We've seen them try to go over the top with dragons. We've played them with, I guess, the Magda, right? And actually we also did the ultimatum thing this season, right? So we played it a few different ways. However, we do have another way, and I built this deck and had it sitting around at the very beginning of a season. There was a few people talking about it, and there were a couple different versions floating there, but we're gonna play a version that has Lukka in it. And Lukka's a pretty sweet planeswalker, doesn't really have many homes, but you know, whenever you find times to use them, it's actually really powerful. So I think this should be a fun, different way to play with that adventure package in Teamer if you are into that. If you're not, well, hey, at least you'll know what to beat. That's the best thing I want to tell people too. It's like, with all these different decks that some of us different people on YouTube are putting up, one of the best things you can do is just watch some of it just to know how to beat the decks or what they're hoping for in different scenarios. Because that way, when you do run into them on the ladder, you kind of giving yourself a leg up. You don't necessarily have to play the deck, but it's kind of like a playbook on knowing your enemy. Kind of like what football teams would do. You try to get the other team's playbook or get somebody to scout so you know what they're running. And then you just, on game day, you sort of know because you have an idea of what they're going through, even though it's not really your goal. Anyway, that's a weird sports ball analogy. Let's forget it. Let's just go look at this Teamer Lukka deck. Okay, like I said, we are playing the traditional, we'll call it, adventure package, so we shouldn't be too surprised about what we're going to see here. But we are playing 4 Edgewall Innkeepers because, you know, drawing cards when you play your adventures is good. We are playing 4 Decisive Denial, and this is a big deal because this card does give you some extra play against stuff like the Ultimatum decks. It can keep a big creature or 2 up, you know, if they're just coming after it with a big removal card. You can stop your opponent's just big over the top thing, counter a Planeswalker, whatever. So it gives you a little bit of versatility, and the fact that you can just fight something sometimes is good enough. So we have Brazen Borrower, you know, mostly just bouncing stuff out of the way. Bonecrusher Giant, we all know what that is. Lovestruck Beast, we all know what that is. Prismari Command. Now, this is one of the cards I actually really liked in the Ultimatum version that we played. And this actually fills a lot of the same role here, right? It's a little bit of removal. It can ramp you forward. However, here, the ability to actually be able to search cards is good. So that lets us find the Lukka so we can get to the Koma. Or let us get the treasure so we can have enough to maybe use an Alrund's Epiphany, right? That's a thing we get to do in this deck. So it's kind of cool. It's giving us a few different options, letting us do some different things here. And then don't forget, you can actually use Lukka as well. Just look at the top 3 and find a creature. Then you just cast creatures that are on the top. So that's another option for you that Lukka brings to the table anyway. So if something happens to your Komas for some reason, you can just +1 Lukka and then just start casting creatures. And that happened to us a few times. So like totally reasonable. But yeah, then again, we have Alrund's Epiphany. And again, I want to point out, right? Like sometimes when you know you have an extra turn coming or whatever, fighting a creature and getting it out of the way means, okay, you don't have that there for that next attack you just built up for. So that's something too. You can kind of, these cards do in really subtle ways work with each other pretty well. And you just have to kind of play through the hands a few times to kind of start learning the best order. And I'll even tell you, when I was streaming with this deck, I lost a couple of games because I just played something out of order, or like I had a plan on like turn 2 or 3. So I was playing lands a certain way. Then like turn 5 came around. I was like, oh man, if I'd have done this, or this would have made more sense because, you know, this play has more upside. So you sort of learn a few things as you go along. So it's a really fun deck, especially if you like solving puzzles and how you're going to get there to win. You know, there's a lot of that goes on here that I think is really what makes the deck entertaining to play with. But other than those cards, we do have Shatterskull Smashing. We do get to use it for removal quite a bit, but, you know, in emergency, it could be a land. And then our lands are actually 2 island, 2 mountain, 2 forest, 4 of each of the pathways, 4 Ketria Triomes, 4 Fabled Passage. So not a ton of lands to go with our, or basics to go with our Fabled Passage, but we're actually okay with that. Like, it's usually going to be enough. It's not a huge deal. I don't think I ran out of basics with any of the games that we played, but we also only have Fabled Passages to go find basics in here, so it's not really that big a deal. But overall, like I said, deck's pretty cool. The games are about a medium to slow pace, so you're not going to just like burst through and run your opponent over. So you do get to play a lot of good back and forth Magic. But if you're into that in these mid-rangey teamer lists, I think you're going to enjoy what's coming. And don't forget, catch me on the other side of the games because I do have some updates we'll be making to this list after we play those games. And there's going to be a little card spotlight at the end. Give you a little extra info on something that you may not have known about. Alright, I mean, only because we have Decisive Denial in hand. It's not going to be pretty, but... The downside is we are going to be able to do stuff maybe on turn 3. Oh, this is... Alright. And we'll just pass. We'll see how much work this Brazen Borrower gets to do here. Okay. What's funny is I think I just deleted one of my flyer decks. I was working on one and I was not happy with it, honestly. Man, I feel like this Shatterskull Smashing might stand to do something in a couple turns. So I'm just gonna wait, because like we're gonna get 2 cards. And then we get to block something. So this isn't bad. Ugh, double Luca. That's not what we wanted. That's not what we wanted at all. Dang. Well. Now the thing is, though, if we don't block, well, we're still 2 turns away from Luca anyway. So yeah, that's not really it. All right, we block. We block. Oh, that's pretty significant. I'm tempted to just play this, but I think plan right now is just keep the opponent kind of under control. And this gives me the option to still Decisive Denial if we need to, in addition to Stomp, so it's not that bad. Ooh, okay. That changes things a bit. Alright, so let's go get red. Downside, though, this means we're not going to get to use our Shatterskull Smashing, I bet. Okay. I mean, they kind of have to take Shatterskull Smashing or they're going to lose both their things. The curious thing is, I'm wondering if I could still play it as a land if they select it. And I think I can. We're about to find out, though. All right. Because I don't know the answer. I mean, we might just top deck a land, but still doesn't help anything. All right, can we play it? Pay 3 life? Yep, it works as expected, so let's... No, we don't want to do that yet. Found another smashing and another decisive. I did that backwards to my logic, but it worked out anyway. Like, I did the thing I didn't really want to do, but meh, it's fine. All right, so now I'm just deciding if I want to tuck this Epiphany or not. But I think I'm just going to pass. We're at 14 life. No need to be in a hurry. They know we have a Decisive Denial, so we're not really being all that tricky. I will counter that, though. I mean, we'll take 4 here, but then we get to just smash both their creatures. All right, so we go to 10. I guess I'll go get green. It doesn't matter greatly what I go get here, honestly. Yeah, we'll go get that, I guess. And then, much as I would like to be able to Epiphany next turn, I think just taking out both the opponent's creatures here is more than fine. So we'll just do it for 1, 2, 3. Oop, oop. And we'll do it like that. Alright, send back for 6. Interesting that they chose to play an 80 card deck with this style. Like, this is people, just too many people trying to play Yorion when you don't need to. This isn't the type of deck that needs to be 80 cards. Like, that doesn't help you. Like, you're trying to be aggressive and you just added a whole layer of inconsistency. That's really bad. That should be the opposite of what you're trying to do. Hmm, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. All right. But hey, to each their own. You're going to run into them, and that's going to be easier for you to win. Okay, let's rock and roll with this one. Yeah, also, anytime you have the choice and you have both of these in hand, it's almost always better to play the Heart's Desire first. So if something does happen to your creature, or you feel the need to block with it for some reason, you don't have to commit anything extra there, other than just your dirtily 1/1 that doesn't do anything. You know what? I'm tempted to attack here, because if they block with Selfless Savior, we don't even care. Yeah, I'll attack. F it. Selfless Savior wants some, let's do it. I didn't think so. Like, Selfless Savior is worth way more than this little Heart's Desire 1/1. Like, no matter what the situation. Okay, so I'm going to assume we're up against a Winota type deck is what's about to go down. Do I want to block that? I actually kind of want to block that. It costs us a card, but you know what? I'm kind of into it. Which probably F's with the opponent a little bit, because I bet they didn't think we would block, but they don't know me. Welcome, by the way, everybody stopping by this afternoon. And like, yeah, it cost me a card. I'm fully aware, but I'm okay with it. Because honestly, I wasn't going to play the Lovestruck Beast here anyway. I'm going to shoot something. Just because the idea is with Winota, we just need to minimize the number of non-humans they have. So when Winota shows up, that's the whole game plan. Or put enough big things in the way that when they go to attack, you only get the triggers the one time. And if you can survive that, well, then now you've got 5 5s and 4 3s or whatever in the way. If things go your way. They're obviously not going to attack here, because I wouldn't. Alright, so we'll just go after this. Make them sacrifice their Selfless Savior. Alright. Ooh. Oh, that is a good pickup. That is huge. Oh, wow. Alright, then. I was not expecting to draw this. Oh, I don't have a second red. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. I just played myself. I could have just put that in tapped, and then I could have got it the next turn. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, well, luckily they didn't have the Winota this turn. Still bad, though. Now I need to top deck a red lane. Oh, that's so sad. I wrecked myself there. It's so funny. Okay. that helps a little bit. Would have been nicer if I could have Shatter Skull smashing this turn. Not gonna lie. And they don't have the Selfless Savior now. So now we have to not play the Bone Crusher Giant so that we can have our Lovestruck Beast fight a Winota potentially. Okay, just a Professor. Okay. You get a Professor. One is doing their best to keep finding things here, though. Ooh, I wonder what they're going to call for us not to play. Here's another plan, too. If we were to... Alright. That resolves. I'm not going to counter that. If we were to fight, say, like... Okay, that's fine. We weren't going to cast Bone Crusher Giant next turn anyway. We could actually fight the Spirit, kill off, say, Professor and Usher. And that's not bad, you know? That's really not bad. I mean, we're not killing Winota, but at what point were we going to have the mana open to kill Winota anyway, right? If they draw one. I already messed up by just playing that wrong land on that turn. It's already wrecked us, so let's just do this. And that's partially my fault, because I could have done this anyway, even during the upkeep if I'd have thought about it and kept them from even getting the 1/1. So far, this game is basically a whole comedy of errors. Alright, well, we drew one of the comas, which is not what we want to do. But let's go ahead and do this. We can do it for 3. Well, it doesn't matter. We only do it for 2, because we only do it up to 2 targets. Yeah. Alright. Let's do it. And let's get this, and... I kind of want to just get the flyer in a way, because then it just can't come over the top. So yeah, I'm going to do that. No attacks. And then maybe we're going to trade our... Okay, there's the Winota. Sure. Alright, let's see what they find. Alright, double striker, sure. And that's all they found. Okay. So we could take 8. Block here. I'm just... Alright. Alright. I'm just sort of thinking, like, if I use Luca, what happens? Right, that's sort of what I was thinking here. Like, if we trade Luca for Coma, then what? And what does that look like? And they're only going to get 1 trigger here. So yeah, I say we go ahead and Luca. I mean, the opponent spent their wad for the most part. We got rid of the flyer that could do anything.
Hell, and I'm happy to take you there.
No attacks. Alright, we can also keep the Professor from attacking if we needed to. And then we can just go looking for creatures. Spellbinder. Annoying, but it's just the other Coma we have, so not a huge deal. Our plan is not to play another Coma here for a while. Hopefully we don't get in a situation where we need to. And if we tap the Professor... They don't get any triggers, and Coma can block whatever. So Soul Human's gonna go to work too. Oh, excellent. That's a good card to draw. And we have the mana for it. Let's go ahead and +1 Luca.
I have enhanced my tactics.
Man, as much as I want extra cards, I think I'm just gonna do this. And not quite gonna attack with Coma yet. We'll pass. I think we're in control now, though. Alright. That's all they're doing. So let's steal 2. And let's, I guess, just make a treasure. So, Spellbinder doesn't do anything to us. Lets us be conservative with our serpents here. We'll go ahead and tap the Professor of Symbology again. Alright. Guess that's it. Another Prismari command. Okay. Get Luca up. Oh, nothing.
I only bond with the strongest around me.
That sucks. Well, good news is we can kill one of those again, so we're not too worried about that. Hey, thanks for following. Go ahead and get this down, because we may need it later. And then we're going to end up being 1 mana away from displaying this second Coma. So, you know what? I think I am just going to get in here with this duder. I mean, if you want to trade, I'm down. Yeah, in 2 more turns, we're going to be able to just swing all out anyway at this rate. There's not much the opponent's going to be able to do. But this is kind of the plan against Winota. Like, you get them down to where they only have humans, and it all becomes a lot easier to deal with. Yeah, sure, you can have your Bone Crusher. I'm not really worried about it. I'd rather just kill your Elite Spellbinder. Kill the Spellbinder, and we'll make another treasure. And then you have a giant. Alright, now the good news is, even if they find something, outside of finding, like, maybe Kenrith, I'm not sure what else they're going to be able to find here. It's going to matter a whole lot. Aww. Yeah, oh, it's definitely GG's, but the opponents... I think the opponent may be checking to see if they have any outs or not. Well, sorry y'all had to just be here for the opponent just roping out, but we definitely turned it around on a Winota deck, and at least you got to see how to beat it. Alright, we're playing against a Gigantha. This is cool. Alright, we'll keep. Managed to find all of our colors. Hand has something for us to do just about every turn, so we're not too mad about that. Go ahead and get rid of this goose now. We don't have to find out yet what they're going to do with that mana. Man, this is almost the ideal hand, right? Because then if we get to end of their turn, roll into a treasure, then just... I guess I could just play the Bone Crusher there, instead of trying to get so fancy. Because I still could have Luca'd the next turn. Yeah, that was just bad. Alright, they're just ramping up over here. Path to the World Tree, what the hell? Okay, sure. I guess this is a weird way to... something. 5 color, whatever. Okay, well, I guess we're going to find out. I'm gonna actually draw 2, discard 2. We're gonna have all the mana we need regardless, so yeah, that seems a little bit better. Let's scrap that, scrap this. And then use this. We'll go get another blue, I guess. Actually, let's go get another green. Alright, this is our shields down turn. Hopefully it's not too bad. Because I don't know what they're doing. They might be about to wreck us, though. Chariot? Nah, it's not so bad. Annoying, but not the worst. Funny thing is, if I'd have done my cards in a different order, this actually would have worked out great for us, because I would have been able to kill a chariot with the other thing. Yeah, I'd played... Just not playing that on 3 actually really changed everything. Okay, so... What are our other options here? I mean, I assume they're playing removal? Alright, I'm just gonna do this. If Luca dies, it dies.
I will change the world when the courage is ready. I only bond with the strongest around me.
Okay. I mean, now I'm in a situation where I have the mana. I can almost just play Coma anyway. So, we'll see what happens here. I'm trying to recover from my own mistake at this point. And it's not easy. Now, if both the Bonecrusher and Luca live, then I think our plan is just going to be play a Lovestruck Beast straight up, leave Decisive Denial to counter something, if necessary. We use the Luca to get rid of the Bonecrusher Giant to go get the other Coma. And then if something happens to that Coma, we'll just play the one the opponent can see. We're still at 20 life, so even if they activate Chariot, Chariot comes over, like, that's fine. Yeah, that's all good. Yep. Yep. Good card there. That should do it for them. Yeah, that's what I said. Shields down, because I played it wrong on one turn. That's going to be the death of us now. Because I now lost that other Coma, unfortunately. Because I lost the Luca, so... This is a weird one. Like, I'm going to keep this one, but it doesn't really do anything. Yeah, this is... This is one of those hands. You know, it's playable, but it doesn't do anything. So we need the opponent to also not do anything. But let's find out. Alright, so don't know what this is possibly being yet, so we can't get too excited. Something else to kill an innkeeper? No, a Maze Mind Tome. Well. Guess I'm gonna go ahead and do this. And just attack. This is gonna be a long, slow game, I think, if this is just mono black control. We've got a ways to go. The good news is, against this deck, once you kind of start chaining Auron's Epiphanies, they don't really have much. If you get even 1 or 2 creatures on board that you're able to attack with. Now, granted, they are going to have extinction events, shadows, verdicts, all that. So you got to work around it best you can. And we can possibly get decisive denials to keep from having to worry about an Ugin. Or maybe even the right sweeper when the time comes, actually. So we'll see what's up. Now, I should be putting away this Epiphany here, but I actually want to leave a little more mana up just in case I want to try to go for a card. I know at this point, if the opponent wanted to kill the Innkeeper, they would have just killed it. So that's not really a thing they're concerned with. Simulacrum, alright. So I may need to try to race to a decisive denial, because I feel like that's what's happening here. They're just trying to ramp their mana. Alright, they're already at 6. I mean, they could also have just like Massacre Worms or something too, you know, like, you never know what these decks are playing. Boy. Alright, we'll attack for 3. I don't think it's particularly worth playing the other Innkeeper, because I have a sinking suspicion there's going to be an extinction event next turn. And if so, we can Epiphany into another Epiphany with an Innkeeper, maybe. I'm pretty sure that's what's coming. No blocks. Maybe not. Maybe they're just going to spin their Labyrinth to just untap a Brazen Borrower. Alright, we found a decisive denial. That's good news. How much damage can we get in? Alright, so if they tap down to use the Labyrinth, that's 5. So it only leaves them 1 mana open. Alright, so we attack. Oh no, they're gonna Soul Shatter. How do I feel about a Soul Shatter? I mean, I guess we're okay with that. I'm just trying to decide if I want to take another turn after this, though. Because they'll take 1, and then we'd have them take 3. Then they would take 5. That's only 9 total. But, like, do we care that much to hold on to a Brazen Borrower? That's kind of where I'm at here. I think this just has to resolve. I'm just deciding how we use these Auron's Epiphanies. Let's see if we can use at least 1. I mean, it may be appropriate to just try to use both. But now they have enough to, if they're only going to play Extinction Event, like, we can't Decisive Denial and stop it, is the problem. Man, we did not draw anything useful there either, though. Boy. It is tempting to just cycle and do a thing, but here we go. And this is mostly just like whatever's in their hand, let's just find out what it is, you know? 2, 4, 5, 6. Only puts them at 9 if we play this other Innkeeper. I mean, I guess if it's a Distinction Event, it's less good now. So it kind of has to be a Shadow's Verdict. And a Shadow's Verdict we can actually stop. Oh, just lands there. Dang it. Really wanted that to be more than it was. Needed any real body to show up. Would have been nice. or particularly adventure creature would have been great. Okay, they're going to gain 4 back. The downside here, though, is it does increase the probability of them finding a land. So that kind of makes life a little tougher. I don't even think they'd play any lands that come into play tapped or anything. Though if they try to Ugin, we'd be able to get them. I mean, as much as get them is, they're 13. And they could also have a second Ugin. Probably just gonna stay in block. That's not quite enough. All right, our turn. That doesn't do it. This hits planeswalkers, though. That's not nothing. If they do have another Ugin, that's a real thing. Oh, okay. So if we shoot the opponent, that's 11. 10, 9, 8, 7. This one gets through with 6. I'm probably just, if I do it, though, I kind of have to do it and draw and discard 2. And it's just going to give up our Shatterskull Smashing, which is probably wrong, but... Playing to win, not playing to not lose. Oh my gosh. Well, I guess we're not giving up a Shatterskull Smashing. Wow. Wow. It was so bad. I don't even know what to do with that. That sucks so much. So in our extra turns and our other cards, we get land, Shatterskull Smashing, land, Shatterskull Smashing. Like, that's what we did. Oh, that's not true. And one of those was the command. So yeah, that did not go well for us. That was not productive. And we found another Fable Passage. Great. Sadly, this is only 4 damage, so even if we manage to kill both Simulacrums, plus they could possibly draw what they need to kill a creature, so that wouldn't help us any. They're going to kill a bird? They might have to. Yeah, to try to survive over a couple turns. Though that does make things weird, because if I then try to kill these to increase what we can get through, they could draw a removal card, which would keep them alive as well, so I don't know. But here they can use Labyrinth to untap a bird and go to 1. But now I guess we could find Bonecrusher Giants and Prismari commands. That's not the worst. 4 player. Each player look at the top 5 of their library. They may reveal cards and or instants or sorceries from them. Each player puts the cards revealed this way into their hand, and the rest on their bottom of the library in any order. Player gains 3 life. Well, the 3 life is going to be the real pain. Boy, what are they going to go get that's going to be bad for us? Probably a lot of things. All right. Cool. Oh, man. Man, that look at it. Look, 2 Bonecrusher. Like, oh, so much of that. So much of that. Like, good for the opponent, I guess. They didn't have anything either, though. They went and got the Labyrinth. Wow. Wow. We both drew terrible off of it. Yeah, discard and draw, I guess. Sure. Wow, you're kidding. So the 5 cards that they had us look at were stacked, but the ones above and below that were just lands. Oh my goodness. Okay, so here's the gamble now. Like, do we just... Man, this is where Silence of Malacrum's good, right? Because if we try to kill both of these, they get 2 cards, then now they may not even have to use... I think we just attack for 3. I think that's all we do. We just attack for 3. Man, even one of those Bone Crushers would have been humongous. Would have been humongous. Alright, I mean, I'm going to keep this in hand, just in case they have a discard spell or something. Man, the Explore the Vastlands was just... Oh, that was so bad. Alright, let's see what they got. Now, if they do have Ugin, it wouldn't be over anyway, because like I said, we can kill an Ugin. They're going to draw, go to 1. We got a Forsaken Monument, doesn't do anything. Alright. So yeah, the deck actually performed surprisingly well against the Winota list, and that's not something I'd really calculated in when I was thinking about playing it. The interesting thing though is I think it works because you're able to both bounce and kill things and kind of keep the non-human creatures under control while you're setting up for that Winota situation. And then if you can land a Coma, once Coma sticks, you kind of have carte blanche to do whatever you want. You can stall out the opponent, and then you can start turning things around. So it's actually pretty sweet. It gives you a couple of cool ways to deal with that. Not something I calculated in. It seems to be okay against the Yorion type decks. I wouldn't say it's great, but it does have the ability to hold up against quite a few things. Again, take your time to learn the plays. You may even lose a few just to like what they're just, you know, unnoticeable mistakes early. But then after you get a few under you, I think it's going to be pretty good. Now, as for changes, I think I would just cut 1 Lukka and play 1 more Prismari command, I think is what I'm going to end up doing. Because I can use Prismari command to search for a Lukka if I really want to. And the versatility of the Prismari command on those previous couple of turns, or the 2 turns prior to being able to play a Lukka, really does make a big difference. You know, especially if we're trying to ramp up to mana for something, or we need to pick off another creature. I just think having that flexibility is just too good overall. Now, for today's card spotlight, we're going to be talking about Strip Mine. And if you've ever wondered why you have these land destruction lands that are worded specifically to only get non-basics or have like weird clauses on them, well, Strip Mine's kind of the reason. It was the original land that actually came out and just killed the land, and it didn't really care what kind of land it was. And as you can imagine, that ended up being really damn good, and they're not going to do that again. Now, the other interesting thing about Strip Mines too is that even if you have some of the reprinted ones or whatever, like the low end is right around like $15 or so right now for Strip Mines. And then if you have the original old ones from Antiquities, you can see anywhere between 50 and like 80 bucks for them right now. It's really, really a crazy time for this card. But yeah, card's really good. You know, in any format where you can have 4 of something like that that destroys even basics, really can put the hammer down on your opponent. So would not expect to see Strip Mine legal in any modern day formats anytime soon. Don't forget, if you want this deck list, as always, it will be down in the description below. And also in that description, you can get links for my Facebook gaming streams, my Twitch streams, merchandise if you want to get stuff. I have some cool playmats if you want to pick those up. We have some tokens you can buy. So lots of neat things down there. And also, if you're shopping at TCG Player or Amazon, there are URLs there. Please click those, because if you shop through those, you don't have to do anything extra. Just buy what you were going to buy. The channel will get a 1 to 3% kickback, and you'll be helping me out quite a bit. And finally, if you haven't, please, and I have to ask, if you made it this far and you like the video and you like the content and you like the card spotlight and all that, hit that like button. It really helps so much. Then hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, because it lets me know you appreciate what I'm doing and lets you know every single time I have a video up. And that's all I have for you for now. We'll see you next time.